audible, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Sreekar. How are you?
I'm great, sir. Thank you for asking.
You are joining us from which place?
Sir, I'm staying at Kurnool, Andhra Pradesh, sir. That is my hometown.
Okay, good. Now let's start from Andhra Pradesh.
Sir.
See, the Andhra Pradesh state was divided into two.
Yes, sir.
After Telangana agitation. Has it been a useful exercise or it has been detrimental to both the states?
Sir, one of the primary reasons for the bifurcation of Telangana Andhra Pradesh was lack of assimilation and skewed development in Telangana region specifically. So the unity can't be forced for that region. For that reason, the bifurcations happened. So post bifurcation, Telangana being the crown jewel has helped in development of Telangana, and at the same time, Andhra Pradesh has changed the model of development to diversify development of various regions, be it Vizag, Amaravati, and Kurnool. So in that aspect, there has been some challenges, sir, but nonetheless, Andhra Pradesh has been trying to develop all the regions equitably.
So you said different kind of development that forced state to be divided. But what about Rayalaseema and Andhra Pradesh? Because Rayalaseema is also supposed to be a very backward area.
Indeed, sir. Indeed.
Then why not Rayalaseema be also divided from Andhra?
So during the Telangana protest also, Rayalaseema was intended to become a separate state, sir, because of lack of development. But Andhra Pradesh has taken steps such as proposing Kurnool as being the judicial capital and developing solar plants and providing specialized industrial corridors in the Rayalaseema regions to provide development. And one such industry is automobile, which is Kia. Kia automobiles are set up in the Rayalaseema region to promote development in the region.
But that's closer to Bangalore. That's closer to Karnataka. That's why it was set up. What about other backward areas of Rayalaseema?
Sir, in my own district, Kurnool, which belongs to Rayalaseema, sir, Andhra Pradesh government has introduced Orvakal Industrial Corridor, which specialization of pharmaceuticals and renewable energy sectors, sir. And it has a 1,000 megawatt solar plant in the district of Kurnool, sir.
Okay. Changing the topic. Now, you are engineer by profession or by academic qualification?
So post my graduation, I did Masters of Business Administration, sir, from Indian Institute of Management, Tiruchirappalli, with a major in marketing. And post that, I worked at IDFC First Bank, sir, as a management trainee for about 10 months.
No, but you did your B, I think.
Yes, sir.
In which
my graduation from Computer Science and Engineering, sir.
Computer Science and Engineer. Okay. So basically, you are a science student. Now, you see, the government of India is trying to introduce electric vehicles.
Yes, sir.
They have set up a target by 2030. So many percentage of vehicles should be turned into electric vehicles. Sir. Now, electric vehicles also typically will run on lithium batteries to be charged from time to time. Now, the way we produce electricity in India, yes, it's again to a large chunk of electricity is produced with the use of fossil fuels, whether it is coal-fired plants or gas-fired plants. They are all fossil fuels basically. Yes. Then how introduction of electric vehicles will help in reducing our dependence on fossil fuels?
So introduction of electric vehicles is a step in the right direction, sir, in moving away from fossil fuels. Subsequently, government is taking steps such as in procuring deals of lithium from Argentina or inbuilt in-house development of lithium procurement from Jammu and Kashmir and other regions. So while we are transitioning away from fossil fuels, it is important that electric vehicles industry also develops parallelly. So when the supply is there, the demand can also be procured proportionately.
No, my question is different. My question is that I need to use electricity for charging these vehicles.
Yes, sir.
And when I say introduce electric vehicles, I say that I will reduce dependence on fossil fuel, which is diesel and petrol by which. But the fact of the matter is that India, large amount of electricity is produced by use of fossil fuels only.
Yes, sir.
So how I am reducing the dependence on fossil fuel? I may be changing the mode of vehicles, putting in a lithium-ion battery to be charged, but then I am producing electricity by using the same fossil fuel.
So there are two stages of fossil fuels emissions. The first being the charging of electric vehicles and during the running of electric vehicles. So while running of electric vehicles, the emissions can be reduced due to usage of electricity or through lithium batteries. But during the charging phase, yes, I do agree with you that we are using electricity from coal-based or other fossil fuel-based mechanisms. But however, we are promoting the rooftop solar mechanisms and also promoting incentives to ensure renewable energy can be used by through net metering, etc. So these are the solutions that I can see of from transition from fossil fuels, even though it is still in nascent stage.
Okay, you have done your master's in business administration.
Yes.
How you can use the knowledge you have gained during your management education in administration? Suppose you are a collector of Kurnool.
Sir.
What will you do with your academic background? What changes you will bring in the administration?
So my experience in MBA has taught me about marketing skills and operation techniques, which I believe will help in strengthening on streamlining processes that can be used in administration. So for example, during COVID-19 pandemic, there was a district in Tamil Nadu or Tirunelveli, wherein there was short supply of oxygen cylinders. And the collector, Vishnu Gopal, has used data analytics in forecasting the demand of oxygen cylinders and utilizing prudently. So this is one such mechanism where my Masters of Business Administration can be of help.
Okay. There is a large amount of corruption prevailing in administration. Whether it's Andhra or it is Telangana or Bihar or UP, any state you take, there is too much of corruption.
Sir.
And people, that citizens of India or citizens of a particular place, are put to large hardships, dealing with day-to-day interaction with the government. What steps you will take as Collector Kurnool to bring down corruption?
So introduction of technology through e-governance mechanisms, I believe will bring in transparency and accountability in the processes. Sir. It removes the middleman in the process and ensures that citizens are availed services in a fair manner. That is one process. And the second step would be application of laws and regulations against corruption should be implemented thoroughly. In the social audit mechanisms could be introduced to ensure that any form of corruption is negated.
You say by introducing automatic systems, you can bring down corruption. I understand in Telangana they introduced land holdings.
Dharani portal. Yes, sir.
Dharani portal, and
Yes,
they are finding that there is too much of corruption in Dharani portal, and people are facing a lot of problem. Then what happened to introduction of automation?
So the main problem with Dharani portal was the data upload was done by individuals themselves without the acknowledgement of individual landowners. And there came the differences of who was supposed to be the original landowner. This was a discrepancy of the Dharani portal, sir. The middleman was allegedly the problem in the problems with the Dharani portal, sir.
Okay, Sreekar. Now over to Dr. Vijay Kumar.
Sir, thank you.
You are from Kurnool, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me when the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh state was formed?
So it was formed in 1953, sir.
1953.
53. Sir.
Would you like to make another guess?
Unified Andhra state was formed in 1953, sir.
Okay.
The capital was Kurnool, and post 1956, the capital was changed to Hyderabad.
Why did it change from Kurnool to Hyderabad?
Sir, geographically, Kurnool falls on the extreme left of the Andhra Pradesh region, sir. And they believed with the development of Hyderabad during the Nizam era and provision of infrastructure in that region, and also geographically, Hyderabad would be best suitable to be the capital of the state. So for that reason, the capital was changed from Kurnool to Hyderabad.
By that logic, the Chennai should not be the capital of Tamil Nadu.
So not just geographically, sir, but also existence of adequate infrastructure at that point in time, sir.
Okay. In Rayalaseema is also known by another name. Can you tell me the name?
Sir, Ratnalaseema.
Ratnalaseema. Still one more. Rayalaseema.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell
Yes,
me? See, Rayalaseema, to a great extent, majority portion of it is riddled by faction feuds since a long time. Can you tell me what was the background? Why did it start? How did it continue?
So to my limited knowledge in this aspect, factionalism was started as a conflict between the existing caste system prevalent in the society. It was the Reddis and the Kapus. And among the Reddis themselves, there was different factions that were trying to gain control over the region. For that reason, factionalism thrived in the late 20th century. But as time progressed, in the current situation, the factionalism has reduced drastically, and there is only minimal pockets in the rural villages wherein factionalism exists.
And how did it continue? It started. How it sustained itself for such a long time?
So the domination, the control over land, the control over politics has helped in sustenance of factionalism in the region, sir.
Okay. You used the term social audit when discussion was going on about corruption, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How will social audit help? Because social audit has a limited purpose. It can't deal with all the aspects, right?
Yes, sir.
How will it help in reducing corruption?
So social audit helps in bringing accountability in the process, sir, by including citizens themselves in cross-checking the financial aspects of any program. So, for example, Andhra Pradesh is one of the earliest states to introduce social audit and MG Narega execution, and this helped in minimizing any means of mishandling of finances and allocation or distribution of funds. So, I believe social audit would be one such mechanism in minimizing the corruption and extent of it.
Yes, that way you are right. It has minimized corruption, but it can do only in people-centric issues
Programs.
like Manrega,
Yes,
not in other issues. Okay. Now tell me something. You are a student of anthropology.
Yes, sir.
When did the term anthropology came into being?
I'm sorry, sir, I'm not aware of the exact years, but I believe it is in the late 1880s or 1980s.
No, it is much before that. Okay. It was 1593.
Sure. Okay, sir, I'll definitely look
Okay.
at it. Sorry for that.
Now tell me something about evolution of tribal culture from your anthropology point of view.
So evolution of tribal culture in the sense of during Indus Valley civilization, or in which aspects are you looking for, sir?
Tell me from the beginning. Take me through the cycle.
So tribal population in India have been existing long before Indus Valley civilization, and this provided them different unique cultural aspects in terms of language, marriages, their dressing style, their food practices, and the population size of the tribes itself. So as far as the tribes went overboard, they geographically expanded from central region to southern regions as well. This is how tribal culture propagated, and with contact with ancestral North Indian population, ancestral Southern Indian population, the tribal cultures were mixed, and the fusion happened between tribal and Aryan civilizations. And this changed the cultural habits, the social habits, and the political aspects of tribal cultures subsequently.
Okay. From the study of anthropology, which are the research methods which can be used in present day administration?
So rapid rural appraisal and participatory observation can be two such methods which can be used in understanding the problems faced by citizens and ensuring adequate policy measures to empower them and bring a change in their livelihoods.
Okay. You studied marketing in your master's.
Yes.
And I presume you're doing marketing job in IDFC.
True, sir. Yes.
Why did you think of quitting that and switching to another field altogether?
So during my time at IDFC First Bank, sir, I had the opportunity to meet the wealthiest of clients in Chennai, sir. And during that time, even though I was happier with the conversations that I was having, there was certain joy that I was missing, that I was not helping the poorest section of the society. So then I believed, and after introspection through journaling and speaking with my close circle, so civil services would be the right option to cater to my best of my abilities.
Okay, if you have to market
So,
the erstwhile Kurnool district,
sir,
what will be your selling points?
So to which industry would that be, sir?
Hmm?
To which industry?
You have to market at investors forum.
Okay. So Kurnool as a district falls in the Hyderabad-Bangalore economic corridor and has industrial corridors catering to pharmaceutical, automobile industries, and it is a power supplies district with largest solar power plant with 1,000 megawatts in its vicinity. And we have popular industries such as Greenco and ITC operating in the district, and it will be easy to have economies of scale and economies of scope through partnership with these industries. So I believe Kurnool would be the right option to invest, and it has also a demographic dividend and pristine institutions such as Kurnool Medical College and Indian Institute of Triple Kurnool. So it provides talent pool to employ in any of the industries. So I believe Kurnool would be the right option to invest and reap dividends.
Okay, you have used Kurnool Medical College, but you did not mention that Kurnool has a huge number of doctors, which can be useful in health and pharma sector both.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Then, final question.
Sir.
Suppose you are made collector of Kurnool. What will be your first priority there?
Sir, improvement of drainage systems would be my first priority, because Kurnool has been affected due to climate change significantly, and thus the amount of the quantum of rainfall over certain periods has increased drastically. And for this reason, due to clogged drains, the water is being stagnated and people are facing severe troubles because of this. Instead of taking reactive measures, proactive measures would help in dealing with this issue.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Varun.
Shraddha, come.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
I always ask this, why anthropology?
So when I was thinking of deciding to take civil services as my next step, I was going through the possible optional subjects. First option was management, but due to lack of material and guidance, I had to choose anthropology as the next best option. It was a strategic and tactical option.
Okay. Before we start with anthropology, so there was a question where you said that India could work on the lithium procurement categorically from J&K, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So do you think that let's say the lithium ore over there is ready for procurement?
Ma'am, usually there are 4 stages of identifying the quantum of mineral at any site, and the identification of lithium at J&K was at stage 2, reconnaissance stage. And there are subsequent stages, stage 3 and stage 4, which will enable whether it is economically sustainable to procure lithium from that region or not. So post that only we can identify whether J&K would be a plausible option for lithium.
Okay. Now, do you know what's an inferred stage?
Sorry, ma'am, I'm not aware of it.
Inferred stage. When you talk about certain minerals, it is said that lithium has been found at other places as well in India, right? So if you've read the newspaper articles, that categorically said that the found as of now is referred to as inferred stage. Are you aware of such stage?
I'm sorry, I'm not aware of it. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. Okay, let's go ahead with anthropology. So I'll start with simple societies.
Yes, sure, ma'am.
What are social control mechanisms in simple societies?
Ma'am, sanctions and religious rituals are main methods used to ensure social control and social order in the basic societies.
Only 2? Are you sure? At least give me an example.
Among Orons of Odisha, there is elderly council which dictates any regression from norms and procedures, and they take the decision of possible outcome, a possible method of sanction to impose on the individual.
Okay. So what are the principles governing production and distribution in these societies?
Ma'am, at the earlier stage of simple societies, reciprocity used to be the basic means of production and distribution and consumption of any basic items. And usually it became redistribution, and then market exchange has become the predominant method, at least in most of the simple societies in India, ma'am.
Okay, can you give me some example?
Ma'am, for reciprocity among Koyas of Andhra Pradesh, if any member is trying to develop a farming crop, maybe members from other families would usually come and help, and the share of produce that is being generated will be given to families as for being part of the farming. And in market exchange, there are weekend markets wherein people come across to a market with their produce, and they, using market principles, they buy and share, they buy and collect resources that they feel are needed.
Okay. So what do you think is the impact of A, urbanization, B, feminism on these simple societies? Answer in that order.
Ma'am, in terms of urbanization, it provides a means of modernized and aspirational means for simple societies, wherein the younger generations are being migrating to urban population or urban cities for better economic opportunities and better livelihoods. And this has been seen during COVID-19 pandemic, where Adivasis and several tribes had to face a long walk back to their hometowns due to lack of employment and basic facilities. And feminism, I mean, to provide an example to rise in feminism and its impact on simple societies, there is a study by Krishnaveni Mota, which provided an insight on Koya entrepreneurship by women, which raises their social status among the tribes due to their role in development of their society.
Okay. Sir ने आपसे सवाल पूछा था about evolution of tribal culture. Do you think Sanskritization has impacted tribal culture in any way?
Yes, ma'am. I do believe Sanskritization has helped in transitioning certain tribes in adopting to the Hinduized practices or transitioning away from tribal cultures. And this has been used by Mahars of ST tribes, which are moved from tribal status to Rajput OBC status and moved back to SC status in order to gain reservation. So this transition has been seen across tribes in several regions of India.
Okay. Are you aware of the difference between Sanskritization and tribal continuum in anthropology?
Yeah, ma'am, I am aware. For Sanskritization, there is only a unidirectional movement of tribes from caste. When it comes to tribe-caste continuum, there is a bidirectional movement where tribes will become caste and caste will become tribes subsequently.
Great, great. So one last question.
Sure.
Now, land alienation in tribal areas has always been an issue.
Take a deep
right?
breath.
Yes, ma'am.
What are the constitutional provisions associated with it?
Ma'am, the one that I can remember is sixth schedule. Ma'am. In the sixth schedule, it has been mentioned that the land is pristine and the tribal land can't be transferred to non-tribals. And this has been seen as one of the major issues for Kuki-Meitei conflict in Manipur. And another judgment that I can remember is Samatha's judgment, ma'am, which provided that the tribal land can't be transferred to non-tribal people.
No,
in
but then
Andhra
I
Pradesh.
asked you about constitutional provisions, right? So let's stick to that. Constitutional provisions. Are you aware of any other constitutional provisions?
I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm not able to recollect this.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Right. Sreekar, Andhra Pradesh has, couple of capitals, right? 3 of them? Kurnool.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Can you name some countries which have multiple capitals?
So there is South Africa, sir, with Bloemfontein, Cape Town, and Pretoria.
Mm-hmm.
And there is Sri Lanka with the legislative capital in Sri Jayawardena Kotta and Colombo as 2 capitals.
Okay. What about Malaysia? Does it have 2 capitals?
Yes, sir. I do remember that Malaysia has multiple capitals, but I don't remember their names, sir.
Okay. What about Netherlands?
I'm sorry. It has Hague and Amsterdam, sir, as multiple capitals.
Okay. Right. And Bolivia?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm not able to recollect this point.
Okay, right. So these are countries having multiple capitals, right? And perhaps they can afford it, financially, right?
Sir,
But
sir.
do you think a state like Andhra, which is perhaps not that large,
Sir.
right? It's not the largest state of our country. Should it have multiple capitals?
Sir, few of the reasons proposed by Andhra Pradesh government for having multiple capitals are mainly the 3 capitals of Kurnool, Amaravati, and Visakhapatnam, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to Kurnool, sir, it is the least developed district when it comes to multidimensional poverty index by Niti Aayog. And Vizag, even though it is prosperous, it has certain agency areas and left-wing extremist areas within it. And Amaravati has a fertile land which provides multiple crops within an year. So to diversify development and ensure equitable infrastructure growth, government has proposed for the development of 3 capitals. But however,
Shouldn't we
given
have more
the
capitals, perhaps say in UP or in Rajasthan or Madhya Pradesh instead, right?
so that is a fair argument, sir, given the geographical extent of these states.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't find any reason why they stick to 1 capital. Even Uttar Pradesh has multiple capitals, sir. They have their judicial capital in Allahabad and the legislative and executive capital being Lucknow.
Okay, right. Let's talk about multi-dimensional poverty now. You mentioned it briefly. Today, if you see the news, there's a news that it has declined. And did you go through that news? There's that from approximately 28, 29%, it is around 11 point something. Did you go through that news?
Sir, I did go through the news, sir. Recently, about 20 million were pulled out of poverty from 2012.
Mm-hmm. So
The
do you
past
think,
decade.
that analysis is, fine? Do you think so many people have come out of poverty, or do you think this is not true?
Sir, there are certain metrics. I mean, there are no fallacies that has been found till now with multidimensional poverty index. So there is no reason to validate the findings of UNDP records. And also at the same time, we can also contribute or associate these findings with other findings such as employment rates, GDP per capita, which will provide us a clear-cut picture of whether these poverty indexes are right or not.
Okay, Right. Uh, you have hobbies like gratitude journaling,
Yes, sir.
right? Can you define what is gratitude?
So gratitude journaling is about being happy for what we have in our life. So be it a thing, person, or a situation, thinking about them and being joyful and humble about our own experiences. So it provides us as an avenue to be optimistic rather than pessimistic.
That's one viewpoint, but don't you think there is a tendency to, use positivity in a very negative way? That if you let's say you're feeling bad about something, right? It creates a pressure to feel good about it, right? So,
Yes, sir.
do you think that you should have a journal which also on the other hand, right, a non-gratitude journal maybe, right? Things I'm not happy about.
Sir, I also do reflective journaling, sir. One of the prompts that allow me in my reflective journaling is how can I be better tomorrow? So I analyze through the day what are the aspects that I can improve on. Instead of seeing it as a failure, I'll see it as a setback and means to improve myself. So in reflective journaling, I'll see aspects where I can improve myself. So that is one way that I can tackle that.
So gratitude journaling, perhaps was started for depression patients, right?
Sir, yes, sir.
It was normally suggested to if you have depression, right? Your psychiatrist normally asks you to, figure out which people have actually played a good part in your life and have been a positive influence, and you're supposed to write letters to them and then go to them and read them aloud in front of them, right? Right?
Yes,
So,
sir. Yes, sir.
have you tried anything like that? Like reading
Yes, I
it
did,
aloud?
sir. I didn't read it aloud, sir. So during my yearly review, I thanked the individuals who made the most impact to me. So I shared the personal messages that I wrote in my journal to the people that was written in that. So I shared that content through message.
Okay, right. Final question. What's your other hobby? This is one. Which is your other hobby?
Sir, I listen to podcasts, sir. This is a second hobby. And I also watch football at my leisure time.
Okay. So podcasts seem to be very popular these days. So which area, who's your favorite podcaster?
Sir, from India, Amit Verma is my favorite podcaster, sir. He does interview podcast as well as conversational podcast.
Okay.
So those are related mainly to administration and prominent individuals in their own fields and sectors.
Which is the last podcast you heard?
Sir, it was about digital revolution and its use in governance mechanisms.
Thank you. Right. Naveen, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sreekar, when is your interview?
So 15th of February, sir.
15th of February. So
1 month.
exactly 1 month.
Sir.
Or a little less than a month.
Sir.
Sreekar, my impression is you are a good candidate. Your conversation skills are good. But then there are 2-3 things which I will like to point out and tell you, advise you. Number one, I think you have to be clear on certain things regarding your states, especially division of the state, how it has impacted. You don't have to justify the division. You were trying to justify, Somehow I got the impression you were trying to justify the division of the state has resulted into a lot of negative things for Andhra Pradesh.
Yes,
Maybe the major revenue earning Hyderabad has gone to Telangana, so Telangana benefited in a way, but Andhra Pradesh had setbacks. And then, coming to the capitals, also you were trying to justify 3 capitals. You can justify, not that you can take a stand. You can have your own point of view. I'm not saying that you can't have your own point of view, but you have to have strong logical reasoning for justifying a stand. Similarly, coming to corruption also, you have to know these things because you have to do, because the automation Dharani portal you yourself said led to this thing. If you feed the wrong data, then automation is also not going to help you. So there are issues which are pertaining, means you have to use technology, but at the same time you can't ignore human element in technology. So you have to basically either control or improve their behavior, their monitoring, so that the people don't face corruption.
Sure, sir.
Then you have to read your current affairs. There is a short time, but still a lot of things will take place before your interview is there. So
Sir.
please read on those things.
Definitely, sir.
A lot is happening within India and outside India. So you have to
Sure, sir.
consider both the things, make small notes, and I'm sure you will do well.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Vijay Kumar.
See, you are from Kurnool,
Yes, sir.
so you should know a little bit more about Kurnool. To quote,
Sure, sir.
to give you an example, when I
Sir.
asked you what will you be your one priority when you become the DM of Kurnool, you talked about drains.
Sir.
Now, Kurnool is not a high rainfall zone. The problem
Yes, sir.
occurred only because of one flood in Tungabhadra. That was the
Sir,
only
okay.
instance which probably prompted you to give that answer. So instead of giving that answer, maybe you had better options. Like, there is a lot of caste discrimination in Kurnool.
Sir.
There are a lot of caste conflicts, even today continuing.
Sir.
Kurnool has a very rich irrigation potential. But
Sir.
still the agriculture productivity is less.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. And then, or maybe you should have thought about, the education.
Sir.
The basic education is still very low in Kurnool.
Sir.
So whenever you answer such a question, pointed question about one thing or two things, then think over the issue and give a, talk about issue which have major relevance, widespread. Your
Definitely,
answer
sir.
about Kurnool was restricted to Kurnool town, nothing beyond it.
Okay,
Now
sir.
you are not DM of Kurnool town, you are DM of Kurnool district. So you should think
Fair
in
point, sir.
those terms, right?
Definitely, sir.
Then one more thing is, when I talked to you about, faction feuds.
Sir.
And when I asked, what is it that it continued for such a long time?
Sir.
You forgot about political connivance.
I
And
mentioned political
therefore
support.
the
Okay.
subordinate bureaucracy connivance.
Okay, sir. I'll
Do
look
you
into it.
think that faction feuds can continue in any place in the world if there is no political connivance and connivance at the field level, especially of the law enforcement agencies?
Fair point, sir.
Okay, so
Sure, sir.
you should think about it, analyze the issue, and then come about with the answer. In the selling points, you mentioned about ITC.
Sir.
ITC is still a nominal player in Kurnool.
True, sir. But
Okay.
Kurnool itself has very less industry, sir. But among the prominent players,
Correct, but
ITC is one of them.
ITC has a nominal presence in Kurnool.
Sir.
Right? So keep these things in mind and then try to answer a structured question. Okay? Otherwise,
Definitely.
you are a good candidate. I wish you all the best. Okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Right.
Mr. Varun?
So one thing I would just want you to do is reframe your answers, Sreekar, a little bit, right?
Okay, sir.
Right. Just say some answers were very frank, and obviously that allows a lot of authenticity from your
Sir.
side, right? Okay, that this person is not trying to shirk away, right, and those things.
Sir.
Right. Obviously, as sir pointed out, no need to justify the state stance. See, you are a citizen right
Okay.
now, right? You have not joined
Sir.
this process. So
Okay.
you can have a view that it broke my heart when Andhra Pradesh was divided into Telangana and Andhra. So personally, anybody, right? If when I
Sir.
also heard, because I stayed in Andhra a bit, so even
Sir.
I was heartbroken. What is the need of this division, right? Maybe something else could have been done, right? Maybe better communication between the people could have been done. So, right, give your personal view to this angle, because it's a personal question for you. It's not,
Sir.
Administratively you've been asked this question, right?
Sir.
At the end of the day, as a citizen of Andhra, this is being discussed with you. So, right, that obviously this can obviously have your own viewpoint, right?
Sir.
But, despite now living in different states, you have very close friends who live in Hyderabad.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so that way.
Sure.
I have very specific things to share. So I think, yes,
Sure.
you have to brush up on current affairs. आपको content एक बार revise करना चाहिए, yes. But then
Sure,
what I've
sure.
observed is, there were certain parts जहाँ पे आपने questions बहुत ध्यान से नहीं सुने, right? Now this
Okay,
has
okay.
happened where you just started answering and you did not pause to think, right? For example, जब
Okay,
आपसे
okay.
नवनीत सर ने fossil fuels पे question पूछा, right? आपने एकदम से
No.
जवाब देना शुरू कर दिया और वहां पे
No.
गाड़ी चली गई नीचे. Why? Because आप आंसर पे आंसर देते जा रहे हैं और आप सवाल नहीं सुन रहे हैं, right? But then there were instances, for example, the questions in anthropology where you
No.
took couple of seconds, you thought about the answer and then आपने answer दिया. It went on well. So this is your strength, that you think and you answer, right? So probably
Definitely.
stick to that. It'll fetch you more marks. But having said
Sure.
that, don't rush into answering because वो आपको फिर गलत answers के loop में ले जाता है जैसे कि आज हुआ, right? तो इन चीजों से
Sure.
हमने बचना है. बाकी content पे you can work. You have a lot of time, and you're a
Sure.
very good candidate. I think if you work on these issues, you'll be through. Thank you so much.
Definitely. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sreekar, you want to ask anything?
Sir, when Navneet sir said about reframing your answers, was it about structural
No, you see,
part or
the answer has to be, as madam also told you, you have to listen to the question carefully. And you restrict your answer to that question only. When you try to tell something more which has not been asked, you get into a loop, which results into supplementary questions. So that becomes a problem.
Sure,
And
sir.
wherever you are not sure or you don't know, there is no necessity that you must answer that question. You can
Definitely, sir.
frankly say, sir, I don't know, or I have not read about it. It's fine, perfectly fine. Nobody knows 100% answers to any question. If I am also asked, I will also not be able to give answers to all the questions. Nobody will be. So you have to
Sure,
be careful on that. Rest, you read on things, especially of your area, like, when I asked fossil fuel deliberately, because
Sir.
there is a debate going on. So
True, sir.
you read, there are many articles which have come. Some argue that it's not going to be beneficial in the long run unless we can reduce our dependence on electricity produced by fossil fuels. And
Sir.
we are having difficulties in, hydro plants where we are generating electricity because of climate change in Himalaya and all those places. Number of our plants have been destroyed. So because of that, so it's a very complicated thing. So you have to be very clear on those things. Otherwise, you are a good candidate. You should be able to make it.
Thank you, sir. Sir. And sir, I have one more doubt, sir. Was I clearly speaking, sir? Was the tone at which I was speaking, was it clear enough? Or was I speaking fast?
You're okay. You are very good.
Okay.
Speaking is very good. No issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. That would be all.
Yeah. Thank you. All the best.
Thanks for your time, sir. Thank you.